Show. Pick'em Pro Picks.
Three.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's getting tight. It really is. Don had a perfect week last week.
Sure did.
Peter and I took 2 out of 3, but Peter had better point allocation, so he had another point than I did. Don and I are tied for the top. Peter's behind us. I took the Cowboys giving 5 yesterday, so it was a push, so I get 1.5. That was my 3-point pick. So that's where we stand right now. Don had the best week, so Don starts off our Friday football pro picks.
Yeah, I feel like this is a tough week. So I'm going to go with redemption. It's redemption week, Michael.
Love it.
And we start with those San Francisco 49ers. We got to see firsthand what the New England Patriots are really about. And they're just not a very good football team. They don't score any points. I know the Niners are banged up, but they're home. They need to play better. It's a Zoftic number at 10. But if the Jets can easily cover at home against New England, then why can't San Francisco?
It's a great pick.
So I've got the 49ers covering the Zoftic 10 as my 1-point play.
1, 2, 3-point play.
Peter predicted this yesterday. Yeah, I like, you can probably do the numbers, but I like Detroit a lot. I really feel comfortable after what was said by Joe. Here are the numbers under Campbell going back to 2021. Against the spread, the Lions are 37-17 against the spread. That's the best record in the NFL since 2021. So it's 3.5, a little bit nervous about the hook, but Seattle is not going to go undefeated, and I like the Lions on national television where they played well recently as my 2-point play to cover the 3.5 at home, and I guess the second game of the doubleheader on Monday night, or the game 2, whatever you want to call it. But getting back to the redemption for my 3-point play, Cincinnati can't go 0-4. They just can't. And I know Carolina played well with the change at quarterback, and I know they're home. But I was shocked when you gave me the number yesterday, Peter. 4.5 for Cincinnati. They're going to bounce back. The Panthers can't take advantage of what's been a really poor Bengals defense. I think Burrow's going to play even better. I don't even think he's the problem why they're 0-3. So I like the Bengals to bounce back. Cover the 4.5 on the road in Carolina as my 3-point play. So I like the 49ers to cover the 10 as my 1-point play, the Lions to cover the 3.5 as my 2-point play, and the Bengals to cover the 4.5 in Carolina as my 3-point play.
All right, now it's time for Peter.
Oh, there's so much happening in the world, guys. So much to think about, so much to do, so much to consider. I didn't listen to anything you just said. Thank you very much. I need to have a big week. I care deeply about coming all the way back here. And that's why I'm not going to do anything crazy. All right? I'm going to be smart, and I'm going to go with my Washington Commanders, but as a 1-point play. I heard everything Joe just said, and I know that they're traveling to Arizona. I almost feel like there's an overcompensation here for it to be a 3.5-point play. Our defense is bad, and I like the call on Marvin Harrison yards and things like that. I just don't see Arizona doing a lot of stopping of the Washington offense. I think they play inside that 3.5-point play, and if I was forced to bet, I'd pick them to win straight up. I like Washington this week. I love my commies.
Homer.
Michael, Don, Peter, whoever's here.
Oh, yeah.
I've been looking at this game. Someone make it make sense.
Okay.
And maybe this is one that if you even see it, you go, well, then it has to be wrong. But I don't think that's the case. I think somehow people think the Titans are like the worst team in football. And I get why. His name is Will Levis, right?
I think it's Levi's.
And I get it. But, guys, there's a chance we're going to look back at this Dolphins game and even this Dolphins season and think they were giving away free money every time the Dolphins played. They're out of quarterbacks. They're out of secondary. They put up a 3-spot against Seattle, and they're favored against the Titans by 1. The Titans have generally played close. They lost 2 games, 24-17. They had 1 bad loss, 30-14. I'm going to take the Titans to get their first win as my 2-point play.
Awful pick
in Miami. You can't think. You just can't think it's an awful pick.
Are the Dolphins this year's Jets?
I think it's going to take a little bit of time, Don, for people to figure out they cannot play without Tua. This team is dead as a doornail. And for my 3-point play, unfortunately, I picked them week 1. It didn't work out for me, but I'm back. I like the Green Bay Packers. They may get Jordan Love back. Even if they don't, at the 2.5 points, at home against Minnesota. I bet for Minnesota to come back to earth last week. They didn't. They will this week at Lambeau. My 3-point play is the Green Bay Packers giving 2.5 points. Even if it's Malik Willis, I like him, but give me Jordan Love and give me the Pack.
I don't mind that pick.
All right, here are
Thank you,
my picks. I am going to I'm going to take the Bengals for my 1-point pick. I don't think they're going to go winless. It's only 4.5 points, so give me the Bengals, and not to make too much out of it. My 1-point, so my 2-point pick. I'm sorry.
Oh boy.
My 2-point pick. I am going to take the Cardinals over the Commanders.
Oh
wow!
It's like you're printing money.
3-point play.
Printing money.
What?
I mean, really, the Commanders? Really? Come on.
Don.
I mean, they're going to stop Kyler Murray with that defense? Really? Come on.
Don, can I ask you a question?
Yes,
Don, will you answer honestly for me?
I will.
That pick that Michael just made, and I'm not saying he could, it's impossible he gets it right. I'm certainly not saying that. But do you think it's possible, Don, he didn't even look at anything?
Goodbye, yes. BP show's coming up. Please go ahead, Peter.
Do you think it's possible, Don, he just didn't do any work, and to mess with me is just going with the Cardinals? Because
No, I did work.
I think he did the work.
just had them written in an awkward place on the lineup sheet.
No.
So
He does the work, but I do think it's a pivot pick. I think there were a couple of up for grabs, and you were swayed by Peter's pick.
No. I'll
that.
show you. We're off TV right now. I have it written down.
Well,
I have
I'm
the
looking
Cardinals.
at you.
I have them over the Commanders. Stink.
I'm looking at you on
Okay.
my Zoom, Michael. I can see on the computer. Hold
All
it
right, here. Can you see it? There it is, right
There it is. All right.
and you didn't have anything
job.
else that wasn't a pivot. That all week you
No,
went,
those
that's
are the 2 picks. The only thing I thought about pivoting, because I also like the Lions, but I didn't want to be dishonorable and take the Lions because Don took them.
That's not, how is that dishonorable?
because the only reason I would have taken the Lions after hearing Don take the Lions, and I could have just did the okey doke with Don, but that's not how I roll. I'm an honorable person.
It's funny, Don, my pivot was away from the Lions, who I do like also. But in the end, I had been thinking about Tennessee, and I decided to roll with the Titans. I like the Lions pick, too.
Listen, how many years have we been doing this? The three of us.
Depends on who you're talking to.
8 years, right?
8 or 9 years?
The three of us? Your week of picks this week, Peter, is the worst I've ever seen.
That's just not true.
It's the worst.
That's not true.
There's a good chance you will go winless.
That's not simply not true.
Now, who does Bear like?
What a random pick, though, Don. The Cardinals are just, it's so random. Okay.
Well,
I don't know
wait
why.
a second. You actually just took the Commanders. Why is that not random?
Well, that's not random
not
for
random.
2
It's his
reasons.
team.
One, I know them very well. Whether it's dumb or not, it's not random. Number 2, the entire world knows they had a great showing on Monday. I at least saw something. How much Cardinals football have you watched this year? You're a weirdo. Anyways, I'm glad you asked about Bear. He's locked in on the Ravens this week at home to cover the 2.5 against Josh Allen and the Bills.
You know what I'm amazed at? And there's a lot of things that amaze me. That you have the unmitigated gall
That's the worst kind of gall.
to criticize my picks when you criticize the fact that I took the Giants last week, that they had no chance, and they won. Pipe down, Pally.
I would do it again. That was a bizarre pick last week.
It worked out, didn't it?
And the only thing more bizarre is a Cardinals pick this week. And you may get it right, too, but it's still bizarre.
I do bizarre things. I've been
really-
known throughout my life to be bizarre.
You really do.
I don't like his attitude, Don. Can I tell you that?
there's a lot
Don
of
agrees with me. Don agrees. He just doesn't feel like fighting
Your
with me.
picks are the worst you've had in 8 years.
I just don't know if you've got the evidence to back that up.
Do you have anything from Boone, Don?
Yes, I do. I've got. He's got the doubleheader again, so he's got 2 picks with emoji. He went Dolphins with a nice little Dolphin.
There you go. How about that, Peter?
And he's going against me. He's going Seahawks in the second game of the doubleheader. So Dolphins and Seahawks for Boone.
No. You want to talk about worst picks I've ever heard. Boone just randomly firing off a let's go Dolphins and Seahawks on the road. He may get them both right, but those are horrifying picks.
You're unbelievable.